member for Canning, and I call the member for Melbourne.
This government is overseeing a system that is designed to punish refugees rather than support them. Labor and Liberal governments have continued the shameful policy of offshore detention, leaving people languishing in camps for years at untold cost to their physical and mental health. And asylum seekers living in our community in Australia face punishing restrictions on everyday life and have to live every day with the insecurity of not knowing what the future holds. But this government and its system of punishing refugees instead of welcoming them, of harming people instead of supporting them to become full members of the Australian community, does not represent Australia at its best. People around the country have been inspired by the show of solidarity from residents of Queensland town Biloela for their neighbours, who were taken away at 5 a.m. by immigration officers and sent to detention, where they remain months later. And like Biloela, Melbourne is a place where people will take a stand against these cruel policies. Melbourne is a place where people care for one another and where we know we are all better off when we say welcome. And I want to tell the Parliament about the way that my local community in Flemington and Kensington have rallied around Yunay and Sangini, and that's not their real names, a couple who were once put in offshore detention by this government and are now living in Melbourne in limbo, waiting on a court decision. Out of respect for their privacy and their safety, I won't go into detail about the circumstances of their claim or their story. But what I will say is that nobody just chooses to get on a boat. They came to Australia seeking safety, and instead they were met with cruelty and detention. And they are now facing significant hardship and have been told that they will be returned to the danger that they fled. But while they've been living in the Melbourne community, Yunay and Sangini have been contributing to our local community and participating in community groups, including in particular Kyokushin karate clubs, as well as the Farnham Street Neighbourhood Learning Centre. Yunay and Sangini are widely loved and respected in our local community. They are building new lives and making Melbourne a better place. But this government wants to return them to danger. Many of their friends were so shocked to learn that the government wanted to deport them. So a group of them and their colleagues got together to find a way to support them. Supporters organised a fundraising event at the Flemington and Kensington Bowls Club for Yunay and Sangini and other asylum seekers in need of support. 250 people got together to raise money and show their support. Bands Dirty Rascal and Crescent Moon volunteered, along with Sri Lankan dance performers and a karate display. This was an entirely grassroots-driven show of solidarity, and it's why I'm proud to represent Melbourne in this parliament. With this support, Yunay and Sangini have secured legal representation and stable housing. The proceeds from the night will help others that have been pushed into a precarious existence by government policy. I'd like to acknowledge the contributions of several individuals and organisations that have supported Yunay and Sangini and helped to gather the community together in this show of solidarity. In particular, I'd like to acknowledge Manrico Mora, Kathy Connop and the team at Farnham Street Neighbourhood Learning Centre, Noel Newell of the Helping Hand Project, the members of the Kyokushin karate clubs, Lentil as Anything, and lawyer San Marty Verma. To everyone who contributed to this event and who are backing Yunay and Sangini, thank you.